Good morning to my XRP holders and my Doge moon boys and moon girls. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're enjoying your week so far. We have basically no movement on Doge for a little while, which is okay. The more consolidation means the bigger the pump's going to be. It's coming. Just wait. Just be patient. As far as XRP, we had a little bit of a push because of the release of RLUSD, but as I was saying in my last video, I'm not expecting a big price movement from XRP until we start having more adoption, more regulatory clarity, and more use on the ledger. The whole point is that the more action on the ledger, the higher the price of XRP is going to go. The less action on the ledger, the less the prices go, the lower the prices of XRP is going to go. The whole point is that RLUSD is a bridge coin, a stable coin, and reminder, if you're looking to have gains, don't buy RLUSD coin because it's a 1-to-1 ratio with the US dollar, meaning it's going to try to stay as close to the US dollar as it possibly can. So don't buy it thinking it's going to go up a huge amount of money. That's not how it works. We have some stuff here to educate the masses on RLUSD and XRP. The first one is by this guy named Adam Cochran. Really awesome video. Stay with me on this one. It's going to be a little bit of a long video here, but this is very important stuff as far as the RLUSD coin, stablecoin is concerned. So let's go ahead and take a listen here, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
I almost missed it at first. Ripple quietly dropped a bombshell, and no one's really talking about it. But it could dramatically revolutionize the position of Ripple in the marketplace. While everybody's talking about XRP's price, and rightly their upcoming programmability upgrades, Ripple Labs quietly launched RLUSD, fully compliant, banked-backed stablecoin that's about to dramatically change their ecosystem. In this video, I'll break down what I think is Ripple's Trojan horse for bringing multi-trillion-dollar Forex markets onto the blockchain, at least without needing to even wait for fancy tech upgrades. This isn't just another stablecoin launch like we've seen over the past 6 months, but it's actually a key component for Ripple's XRPL ledger to be able to be useful for a lot of its customers, potentially even making it a go-to platform among institutional trading and Forex settlement. So let's dive into how this stablecoin in particular is unique and could unlock.
So right there, he just said something pretty important that I want you to focus on here. He said Forex settlement. Now, I understand a lot of you don't understand the whole trading concepts. Forex, you can trade Forex in the stock market. And a lot of people use leverage to do that. There's a lot of funds that go through Forex and not a lot of them. So if you trade on the stock market, a lot of times if you send money to it, it might take 3 to 7 business days to cash out, to be able to cash out, for 3 to 7 business days to be able to deposit funds. Imagine if you were able to deposit funds instantaneously or cash out funds instantaneously. That would be a game changer. Let's continue though. Let's
unlock trillions of value in trading volume and why more of the crypto community should probably be paying attention. So first off, RLUSD isn't just another USDC clone. This is more akin to the original Paxos stablecoin that's an NYDFS regulated, custodian issued, backed by secure cash assets stablecoin. The backing here can only be in real US cash equivalents in US banks registered with regulators and checked on a regular basis. These are legally bound custodians. Ripple also has a VASP license, another set of monetary transfer licenses, and is looking at how to make sure that the coin is MiCA compliant in the EU, allowing it to be offered by EU exchanges and used by EU banks. This is something that companies like Tether have decided not to pursue in the same way. Ripple USD is going to be issued.
That's pretty key. Something that Tether USD has not decided to do. They don't care. So they're not compliant. They don't audit USD. Ripple does both of those, and Ripple's also working with all of the international banks for cross form payments. I mean, come on, guys. Like, listen to what he's saying.
both on Ripple's native blockchain as well as Ethereum. Now, you might be thinking, if you're familiar with Ripple and some of its holdbacks over the years, what am I going to do with a stablecoin on Ripple when there isn't any DeFi? In the past year, Ripple has actually released a format for issuing tokens and for doing AMM swaps natively on the Ripple blockchain, but there hasn't been a lot of pickup. None of the tokens can be programmatic, and so tokens that exist are either meme coins or RWA assets issued by banks and financial institutions, sophisticated participants. These sophisticated participants don't want to have an AMM that trades against Ripple as the underlying currency. They want to be able to price their assets in the US dollar. And until the launch of RLUSD, that was something that wasn't possible. This stablecoin is going to unlock the ability for RWA assets, Forex issuers, currency issuers, and other programs to be able to price on a native AMM their assets in the US dollar. It's also going to allow Ripple to bring a lot of their overall liquidity on chain by incentivizing a Ripple XRP US dollar AMM pair. And this is important because all of that is sitting right now on exchanges where the exchanges are benefiting, and frankly, the US dollars sitting in those balances are opaque. But if Ripple can bring a lot of that on chain, they as a company can begin to benefit from the yield that comes in and putting that back into the XRP ecosystem. But even more importantly are two other factors. First, Ripple is launching programmability soon, both with hooks and a future EVM sidechain that will allow DeFi applications. They're going to need stablecoins as a part of this ecosystem, and rather than let anyone else capture it, such as USDC or USDT coming in and doing native issuance on the chain, Ripple is making sure they themselves capture it and can provide more value into the ecosystem. They're kind of doubling down on this by also having the RLUSD issued on Ethereum, getting Ethereum participants more familiar with Ripple's ecosystem and their brand before launching the EVM sidechain, which could allow them to tap into a large market that has previously not taken Ripple very seriously. But perhaps most important of all is the role that this actually plays with their target.
So I think that's pretty important also, is that they're going to be putting it on Ethereum's platform as well, basically making it accessible to more than just XRP holders, more than just people that are familiar with XRP. There's a lot of other people in the crypto world. He was also talking about how many things can come on the ledger. I mean, it's literally endless, the amount of stuff that can go into the ledger. And again, like I said, the price of XRP depends on how much is being done on the ledger. The more transactions that are done on the ledger, the higher the price of XRP has to be. Has to be. You can't have XRP be a low number and have lots of transactions, because the amount of money that's coming in, if XRP is too low, you're not going to have enough XRP for the transactions. XRP has to be a high number for lots of transactions to come into play. So this is exciting stuff, guys. Exciting stuff.
Clients. For a long time, Ripple has really been focused on institutions. They want banks on board. They want financial institutions. They want Forex traders and brokers to use Ripple as an alternative settlement network. If Ripple is able to get their MiCA compliance approved and be offered in the EU and bring this stablecoin to diverse markets, to banks, to financial institutions, to exchanges, they have a great opportunity to get these providers to integrate Ripple's network by offering them on-chain yield and sharing of that yield. Small banks in the EU and globally would love the opportunity to be able to buy US cash equivalent yield-bearing assets that are custodied in US banks and interchangeable on a network. While Ripple has had their transfer network for a long time and is currently developing an ISO 2022 compliant version, they've had a really hard time getting it broadly adopted. And that's because the diversity of settlement and interchange just isn't there. Having the AMM in place, having this cash liquidity yield-bearing asset that they could share the yield on to these institutions, having this regulated in a way that it meets the deposit requirements of the banking regulators that approve the bank partners they're working with, this allows Ripple to actually go out and get the kind of clients that it's been wanting for the past 8-9 years. These are the type of asset issuers that care about RWA, real world asset issuance. These are the type of asset providers that care about Forex settlement and interchange. These are three of the biggest markets that we haven't really seen any other blockchain be able to cement their foothold in. There are trillions of dollars of settlement happening in Forex every day around the world.
Listen to what he just said. Trillions of unsettled transactions on the Forex. You're talking about bringing trillions of dollars worth of transactions just from one thing alone onto the XRP ledger. Guys, again, in order for that to happen, XRP has to be a high price. I'm talking about tens of thousands of dollars. Has to be in order for that to work. This is what industries want. from this coin. And it's going to happen. The more regulatory clarification comes, more adoption that comes, the higher the price XRP is going to be. Just wait. Just wait until Trump gets into the office and we have all these pro-crypto people that are coming in here. Just wait. This is nothing. This is nothing. This is the reason why I am working so hard to accumulate more XRP. I don't care if the price is $2 and something cents. I'm not waiting for it to drop to $2. I don't care what the price is. I'm buying as much as I possibly can right now because I know that this coin is going to be worth something unbelievable in the future. Again, this is what I'm doing. I'm not telling you to do this. Don't buy any coin based on what I'm doing or what I'm saying that I'm going to do. Do your own research. But I know in my own head, my own heart, this is what's happening. This is why I'm accumulating.
From these banks, from these brokers and large interchange partners. Most of it happens over the phone. There's not even major traditional exchanges that have tapped into this. And the reason is that the banking system is too fractured for that settlement to happen fast enough. You have to go through multiple interchanging banks. If Ripple can successfully build a infrastructure where debt issuers and financiers and banks and deposit entities can issue certificates of deposits and debt instruments and cross Forex settlement all in one place while having exposure to a custodied, regulated US dollar cash bearing asset, that starts to become a really interesting proposition for this alternative market. And it can bring in the professional traders who want a piece of that real world asset, debt instrument, Forex, and interchange world, and who understand it. Now that gets away a little bit from their early versions of wanting to be a Swift network kind of competitor, but it is much, much more lucrative and much more complex. It's something that no one else in the DeFi space has the expertise or the interested parties or the tooling to be able to provide. And it's an opportunity that Ripple could be able to seize, building it off of this stablecoin. And that doesn't even get into the secondary benefit. We've got $140 billion of stablecoins out in the world right now. Most of that being $100 billion in Tether and $40 billion or so in USDC, with USDT not being approved for.
You hear that? How much is in the other stable coins right now? They're not compliant. They can't do what RLUSD is going to do. All that money is going to flow into RLUSD. All of it. All of it.
For Mika right now, there's this huge opportunity in the EU to become the second largest or third largest player in the stablecoin space. And as that space continues to grow, these companies sit on massive amounts of yield. For example, if Ripple was to issue the same amount of stablecoins as Tether does nowadays, they'd be looking at something like $5 billion a year potentially in yield gains. That massive amount of income would not only be captured by Ripple Labs and flow back into benefit for the Ripple ecosystem, but it would drive an incredible amount of on-chain demand that would likely mean the value capture far outweighs even the raw cash revenues that you're seeing. So I think Ripple still really needs hooks in their EVM sidechain to perform well, get the programmability in place to be able to offer more sophisticated DeFi products that aren't just natively baked into a chain. But having that stablecoin there and the unique regulation that it provides is the first big step in really realizing the vision, the long-term vision that Ripple has been pushing for a long time. And I think they're uniquely poised to capture a segment of the stablecoin market that we don't talk about or think about day to day in DeFi. And I think realistically, we used to meme about, Ripple $5, Ripple $10. These were crazy meme numbers. But when we start talking about the large opportunity in interchange, cross-settlement, debt instruments, and RWAs that Ripple could unlock here, these numbers really start to become realistic due to the values of these entire ecosystems.
Not only realistic, but I think we're going to go way higher than that. I see tens of thousands.
And so I think Ripple has a great potential path in front of it if it continues to execute on delivering the vision in the way that it wants to.
Absolutely amazing video. Absolutely amazing video. There's one more thing I want you to see. He was talking about the EU connection, right? He was talking about the EU connection. I want to show you something. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this next one was brought to the attention by Coach JV. If you don't follow Coach JV, check him out, man. This guy is one of my favorites out of everybody in the XRP community. He's talking about this is from the EU. Okay. This was talked in French, but they translated it using AI, and it's absolutely amazing. So let's take a listen to this right here.
This is Sarah. Canafo, if I'm saying that correctly, right? And this is in French, I believe. Here we go. Translate post. Here we go. Is that, yeah, it is French. Okay, got it right. So she is French, right? And she's in front of the European Union. And it says no to digital euro, yes to a strategic national Bitcoin reserve.
Are you paying attention yet? Are you paying attention yet? Remember, smart money. You got to follow the smart money. You got to follow what these corporations and countries are doing. These countries are now talking about changing up the game. They're saying no to digital euro. Yes to strategic national reserve Bitcoin. This is no longer a fantasy. This is something that countries are going to adopt. Whether you believe it or not, this is happening underneath your eyes and right underneath your nose. You just got to pay attention.
Okay, so I want to let you listen to it in just a moment in French. And I was like, because I listened to it from Bitcoin Magazine, and I was like, that's AI. Like this is not her saying that. And so I went back and found the original video off of her Twitter, and you can tell in French what she's saying. So people translated it, and it blew my mind. I almost couldn't believe she was saying this in front of the European Union. We're going to listen to this, and then we're going to backwards engineer to what is going to happen in America. It is very exciting. You should be very, very bullish. Okay, check this out.
Il y a 3 ans déjà, de l'autre côté de l'Atlantique, le président du Salvador a décidé d'investir pour son pays dans les crypto-monnaies. À l'époque, il a été conspué par la classe politique et par le FMI. Il affiche aujourd'hui.
Okay, so we know she's talking about crypto, but let's listen to it in English. Okay, so Bitcoin Magazine had it translated, and this is what she said. Buckle up, get some popcorn, pat yourself on the back. Here we go.
3 years ago, across the Atlantic, the president of El Salvador decided to invest in Bitcoins for his country. At the time, he was ridiculed by the political class and the IMF.
If you don't know that already, the El Salvador president has been stockpiling Bitcoin since way lower than the prices right now. Talking about 30s, 40s, 50s thousands of Bitcoin, and they have a lot of money now. And he was ridiculed, like she said. Not anymore, though. Every country is trying to do what he's doing.
He now shows a 100% return, with hundreds of millions of dollars available for his people, for security, and for the sovereignty of his country. The whole world is now getting ready to take advantage of this revolution in decentralized finance. Donald Trump is going to create a strategic reserve of Bitcoin for the United States. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the US Federal Reserve, is now talking about digital gold. Bitcoin is skyrocketing. And what about the European Union? What is the European Union doing? It's squandering our money on unbelievable waste. It continues to accumulate tragically inflationary deficits. It insists on regulating, taxing, and holding back. It's time to change the paradigm. It's time to protect our people from.
I love that she said paradigm. I've been trying to let people know there's a massive paradigm shift, guys.
Inflation and the poor economic choices of our states. It's time to say no to the totalitarian temptations of the European Central Bank, which wants to impose a fully controlled digital euro.
Air of authenticity, Aquarius.
We don't want this dystopian world where a European bureaucrat could tomorrow ban us from certain transactions and even kick us out of the banking system with a click, just for something we said on social media or for an opinion that doesn't sit well. It's time to bet on freedom. It's time for our states to invest in Bitcoin to build national strategic reserves. It's time to develop the mining industry. We, the French, hold the cards with our nuclear advantage. Let's stop taxing cryptocurrency holders more and more. It's their intelligence, their risks, their sleepless nights that have built their savings. Let's allow them to protect themselves from the crazy spiral you've created. Public deficit that drives money creation, which creates inflation, leading to chaos. Let's dare to be free. Let's stop being afraid of our own shadow. Let's stay true to the ambition of our civilization.
Damn. I mean, that's a legendary speech.
It really is. The thing is like, this is what I keep saying, is that if you follow the money, if you follow BlackRock, Fidelity, if you follow these countries, you follow what everyone else is doing, they're all investing in crypto. It's not a Ponzi scheme. It's not any of the stuff that all these naysayers keep telling you. Stop listening to the naysayers. And in general, all those naysayers, they probably own Bitcoin themselves. They probably own crypto themselves. And then later on, when it actually runs and everybody makes money, they're going to come back and be like, I told you so. I told you so. Stop listening to the naysayers. Listen to your own head. Listen to your own research on this. Figure out for yourself. Countries are adopting into it. Big companies are adopting into it. Why aren't you? It's your opportunity. This is your opportunity. In the next 6 years, before 2030, this is your opportunity for the next 6 years to accumulate as much as you possibly can, to get as rich as you possibly can. That's what I'm doing. Again, none of this is financial advice. Don't buy any coin or any asset based on anything that I say. This is just my plan and what I am planning to do to buy a house and to further better my future of my family and friends. Once again, I'll see you in the next video. I hope that you guys learned something. And XRP holders, let's go, baby. It's our time. It's our time to get rich. Let's do it.